Hi, thank you so much for pressing play on this video. My name is Shannon. I am a certified yoga instructor, and today we are going to go through yoga poses to help elongate your spine and make sure that everything is aligned to protect your posture. If you happen to work at a desk or sit at a chair for long periods of time throughout the day, or if you spend time on your phone texting or sitting on the couch after a long day, a lot of times our shoulders tend to round forward and we spend a lot of time in a hunched over position. So over time, this creates a lot of strain on the shoulders and the upper back and is not so great for the health of the spine. So today we're going to undo all of that. We're going to open up the chest and really work our posture muscles to help create a nice long spine throughout the day. So when you're ready, grab a mat, make sure you've got lots of space to move around you. I also recommend for today's practice having a meditation cushion or something that you can sit up on. It could be a pillow or a blanket, something to prop your hips up and really allow for the natural curvature of the spine. I also recommend grabbing hold of a strap, or you could use the tie for a belt, something to really help us with our shoulder flossing today. So when you're ready, grab all your materials and then meet me down in a seat on your mat. So we want to sit up on a cushion or a pillow or a blanket, something to prop the hips up, as I mentioned before. And this is going to make sure that your low back, your lumbar spine, has a nice curve to it. So we want to start off our yoga postures, making sure that we're nice and aligned. So we're just going to start out doing some shoulder shrugs. So taking a nice comfortable seat. And then as you inhale, let your shoulders come up towards the ears. Notice how that creates not a whole lot of space in the neck. As you exhale with a let that go, let your shoulders drop down. Good, let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, release the weight. Create a little more space. Good, again, inhale. And exhale, releasing some tension in the shoulders that you don't need. Good, now grab hold of your strap. So we're going to do one of my favorite shoulder opening exercises. It's called shoulder flossing. So you want to make sure that you've got some room to the sides of you and also behind you. Grab hold of your strap, and you can grab hold of your strap on whatever arm width helps you to create some space. And we're just, as you inhale, we're just going to bring the strap up. As you exhale, dropping it back behind you. Good. Keep some core tension here so that your spine continues to be elongated. And then just continue with the shoulder flossing for a few rounds. So we're really starting to open up those shoulder muscles and the posture muscles, which today I'm going to be referring to the muscles in between your shoulder blades. So when I say squeeze your posture muscles, I want you to envision that space in between your shoulders. Good. So breathing in here, just kind of getting any extra tension out of the shoulder space. Getting full range of motion in the shoulders. And you'll probably notice when the strap is back behind you that it really opens the front body, all those posture muscles. So such a good one to do in the morning or when you want to take a break from work and just open everything up. Good, we'll do one more round of shoulder flossing. Nice. And then eventually Coming back up, and you can move your strap off to the side. Roll it up if you'd like. And then we're going to come onto all fours. So you can gently move your cushion off to the side. And just starting with a few rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, your belly is going to drop. You'll lift your chest. Think about the space between your collarbones broadening. And then as you exhale, curl your spine, drop your head. Good, keep going like this with your breath. Inhaling through to cow. Exhaling, arching the spine like a cat. So this is a really good one to do. Start moving all that connective tissue around the spine, starting to bring blood flow in between the vertebrae. Get rid of stickiness from staying in one posture for long periods of time. And also just bringing some movement with your breath, starting to link breath to movement, which can be a helpful practice for the mind. So one more round of cat-cow. And then eventually coming to a neutral spine, we'll take a few rounds of thread the needle pose, and we're going to move with the breath. So you want to make sure you've got enough space on your mat so that you can reach your arm up and thread it through and still have enough space to twist. So on your next inhale, reach your right arm up. As you exhale, thread the hand through. Rest your ear and cheek on the mat. Good, and then keep going like this with the breath. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to thread through. Move at your own pace here, counting. We'll do 5. And once you're on number 5, if you want to hold at the bottom, you can. And you can take that opposite arm, reaching it in front of you, or maybe wrapping it behind your back. Good, one more inhale here. And exhale, come back to the table, and we'll do the other side. So as you inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, thread it through. Keep going like this with your breath 5 times. And once you're on the 5th time, you can gently rest your ear and cheek. Maybe walking the opposite arm over. Pressing the bicep down into the mat here. Breathing. Good, and then coming back up to center. From all fours, keep your lower body where it is and just start to walk your upper body forward. So your hands come forward, and then just start to melt your chest down towards the ground. This is called melting heart pose. Really good one for the upper back and the shoulders. You can think about being a little puppy here, sticking your tail up into the air, and then just getting a nice stretch. Good. Breathing, opening through the heart. You can feel those posture muscles all working, all opening. And then walk the hands back in slightly. Spread the fingers, tuck your toes, and press up and back into downward facing dog. Good. Feel the backs of the legs opening. Again, think about lifting your hips here, lifting your tail up towards the ceiling. And then start to shift forward, come into a plank, and then lower your knees down, lower your chest and your chin down. And then we're going to move through a few rounds of rolling cobra. So you can bring your hands to the outer corners of your mat, bend at the elbows, ground the tops of your feet down on the mat so the toes are untucked. And then as you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Get fewer more rounds like this with your own breath. One more round. Good. And then releasing. Walk your palms back in. Hug your belly button in and up. Ground the tops of your feet down into the mat. And then when you're ready, lift your chest and your arms up for Locust Pose. So we will do a few different variations of Locust Pose today. We're really going to start to work the upper back and the mid back. Even the lower back's going to work here, but think about those posture muscles. So again, the space between the shoulders, press that space together as you open your heart. Stay here for 3, breathe for 2, and exhale. Lower your hands, lower your chest, lower your head down. And then we'll move on to a second variation of Locust Pose. Here we're going to have our hands out in front of us. So your palms can face in together. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift your arms, lift your chest, and lift your legs up off the mat. Good. Now, pretend that it's a nice warm day, and we're going to go for a swim. So start to kick the arms and the legs, the arms and the legs. Good. Feel your low back and your upper back and your shoulders all working here. Nice. Neutral gaze with your neck for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. You can rest the opposite ear and cheek down on the mat. So again, just working those posture muscles, giving the heart a moment. It definitely gets the blood flowing and the heart pumping. Good. Now we're going to move on to one more variation of Locust Pose. This time, the arms are going to come behind. So you can reach your hands behind you. And then when you're ready, lift your arms, lift your chest, lift your legs up off the mat. Now, option to clasp your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulder blades together, your deeper back opener. Good. Breathe here. Keep your neck neutral. Balancing on the belly and the hip points for 3. Open up a little more for 2. And exhale, lower down. This time, you can stack your palms, rest the back of your forehead down, and then just kind of windshield wiper your hips from side to side. Good. From here, bring your palms to the midline of your chest, and when you're ready, press yourself up into a downward facing dog. From your downward dog, bend your knees, look forward, and step to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. You can have a big bend in the knees here. You shake the head yes. You shake the head no. Just letting your spine round forward. Letting the head be heavy. On your next inhale, slide your hands up your shins, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, stand all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come down. We're going to take a giant step back with the left leg. You want to make sure that you've got your strap close by. Stepping back into a warrior one type footing. I'll move my cushion out of the way so you can see a little bit better. So right leg is going to face forward with the knee bent. And then left leg is going to have the toes come out to a 45-degree angle. You'll square your hips towards the front and then lift your chest up. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling for warrior one. And then clasp your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulders open, squeezing your posture muscles, opening your chest. Good, so counteracting all that slouching we do on a daily basis. You can stay upright, or you can start to come forward and down into humble warrior. Now, if you've got a strap with you nearby, you can also use a strap, grabbing hold of the strap behind your back, and then coming forward and down. So this just can create a little more space for the body as you bow forward. No tension in the head or the neck. And really getting those posture muscles nice and open. Good, staying strong and stable through the feet. One more inhale. And then exhale. Slowly come up as you press through the feet. Nice job. So now we're just going to take a big step forward, switch legs. So the left leg is now going to be in front. Right leg is going to step back, making your way into that warrior one position. Left leg bending, hips coming towards the front, hugging your ribs in, and then inhale, reach your arms up. Good, think about spiraling open here. Energy through the fingertips. And then clasp your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders open, squeezing that space in between the shoulder blades. You can stay here, or you can bow forward and down, coming into humble warrior. Knees over the ankle here, squeezing your posture muscles, bowing your head, and breathing. Staying steady and strong through the feet, releasing tension where you can in the jaw, in the forehead. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, slowly start to come back up. Good. So then we're going to make our way into a wide-legged straddle. So you can take your toes and you can face them inward so that your feet are now parallel on the mat, and then turn your toes in a little bit, so a little bit pigeon-toed. Take an inhale here, grow a little taller. As you exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips, tipping back into your wide-legged forward fold. Good, now shift 2/3 of your weight into the balls of your foot, feeling the hamstrings opening, and you can stay here, or option to clasp the hands behind your back, rolling your shoulders open, and squeezing your posture muscles. Good, now if you have that strap, you can also grab hold of the strap instead. No tension in the head or the neck. Good, breathing full deep belly breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, release the strap or your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then pivot towards the front. And Plant your hands to frame your foot. Take a big step back with the left leg. Come into downward facing dog. And then drop your knees down to the mat and come up onto your shins. Good. So making our way into Camel Pose. So this is a pretty big heart opener. Again, I want you to think about squeezing the posture muscles, opening up through the front body, and then I encourage you to keep the pelvis really stable and move from the heart. So it's almost like there's a string connected to your heart, and from that string is where you're going to initiate the back. This is a great way to counteract all that slouching that we do. Option here to either have the toes tucked or untucked, so really your choice here. Sometimes I find that tucking just makes it a little bit more accessible to bring my hands down to my heels. So you can try that version and see if it works for you today. We're just going to start with the hands on the low back just to stabilize the pelvis. Good. Now, again, envision that string pulling your heart up. Let that be where you take this movement. Squeeze your posture muscles and your elbows together here. And then start to open up through the front body. If you'd like, you can take your hands down to your heels, opening up through your heart. Breathing here. Undoing all of that. And just really being vulnerable, being brave, being open through the heart. And one more inhale. And exhale. Slowly start to come up. You can untuck the toes, sit back on the heels, and just give your spine a moment. You can place a hand on your heart, another hand on your belly here. Just letting the spine kind of decompress. And then letting your belly drape forward, coming over into a closed-legged child's pose. Counteracting the back bend. And then slowly coming up. Come forward onto your mat, down onto your belly. We're going to come into a scorpion stretch. So we'll start with the arms kind of like in a T position, and then take your right hand to your chest, bend your right knee, and then kick your right leg over your left leg, resting the foot back behind you and coming into a stretch that looks a little bit like a scorpion. You're going to feel a big stretch in the left shoulder. Good, breathe here. Just opening up that front body. Deep, full breaths. Good, and then release. Come back onto the belly. We're going to do the other side. This time the left hand comes by left chest. Bend the left knee, and then bring the left foot up and over. You can bring the left arm a little closer to the chest for some support. Good, breathing here, feeling that big, deep shoulder opener. Releasing tension in the body where you can. And then gently releasing, coming back to center. You can stack your palms and just sort of let your hips sway, swish from side to side, releasing the low back. And then coming into one final child's pose. Letting your body be heavy, just releasing all the good work we did today. And just reminding yourself that you can come into these postures throughout the day. You can pick your favorite postures to return to. But ultimately, just getting movement into your day is so important to help with the posture muscles, to help strengthen them, to help make sure they don't stiffen. Good, and then when you're ready, you can come out of your child's pose and coming to a comfortable seated position on your mat. And just noticing how you feel after taking the time to open and stretch the front upper body. I hope that this allows you to feel more energized, to feel more space, and to let go of some of that tension in the upper body. Remember, press play on this video multiple times a day. Come back to it throughout the week. And comment below, let me know which shape really helped you feel the best. And I will see you again soon on the mat.